Hello everyone, Startros here, bringing you a new video for FFBE JP. So it's been requested that I make a guide video for Tahto Omega. This is the team I use to clear it. Honestly, not everything in there is needed. I would say the pieces you really need is Cecil. Well, not necessarily Cecil, it could be any tank. So long as it's a magic tank, that will do. Someone to give Mirage every now and then. I brought Season 5 Lastwell. He's also there for his boost skill, so he is kind of a big deal. If you don't have him, well, I guess we can just do with Snovlinka's boost skill. It should be enough. But if you have him, by all means, use him. Just because of the boost skill, because otherwise he is going to be off element, but we're still going to make it work. Same for Snovlinka, she is there because I have her, but her killers are nice. Otherwise, she's not really needed. She's just going to speed up the fight a little bit. You could do without. She's there to lead as well, but you could use, for example, you could use Rain for a leader here. He would still lead the entire team. However, with a little bit of a smaller leader skill, because Snovlinka's Savior's leader skill is 2000 instead of 1700. So, in terms of gear, I used the party skill for Machine Killer just to kind of ease up the process. In terms of the espers, I gave the overkiller on Alexander to Season 5 Rain. And the main DPS for this fight are going to be Lightning and Rain. Snovlinka is going to support a little bit. Lastwell is going to support a little bit. Because they're both here for their boost skill mostly, but also the fact that they can perfect Dispel on demand, and that Lastwell can provide the Mirage. So, for the gear, Snovlinka kind of has secondary stuff, I would say. I just gave her some HP as well to make sure that she would survive. And I made sure to give them as well some LB fill per turn just in case to help out Bartz do his job a little bit more. Because Bartz is going to be purely a support here, and it's a Bartz friend, so you don't need to have Bartz yourself. I gave her some chain speed because I usually send her in the first part of the chain, so I want her to deal a little bit more damage this way. In terms of the card, I gave her the Guardians card because she's both Light and Guardians, so she is taking a little bit of advantage of that. But she's EX0, so her damage is going to be but she's there. Cecil here, I gave him a little bit as well of LB per turn. He has 350 machine killer, doesn't need that much, but that's what he gets. I gave him a little bit of chain speed as well because he is also in the first part of the chain. And it's a little bit scrappily put together, but it worked, so that's all that matters to me. He's there to tank and deal a little bit of secondary damage, but he is definitely not going to be the big boy damage at the end of the day either. Lastwell here is Season 5 Lastwell. I gave him the amulet here for some more HP, because on a couple of tries he died very early in the fight. A little bit of LB fill as well. He is EX1, so he doesn't start with his LB. So we need to work our way there before he can be using it. So that's helpful. He gets the chain cap here. Oh, by the way, yeah, Cecil is getting the chain cap from Bismarck. Just so you know, he has it. So yeah, the chain cap, otherwise machine killer, and a little bit of HP through here. Lightning, I give her a little bit of HP through this here. So we're really using that Tiger Rain TMRs and STMRs, but they are putting in some work. A katana on Lastwell, obviously, and a sword on Lightning because the great sword is on Rain. Otherwise, a little bit of LB fill, and yeah, that's it. And then all the overkiller is on Rain. I only have one machine overkiller materia, So I gave him both the Materia and Alexander because he will be dealing the most sustained damage during the fight. I also gave him the Tiger Rain Amulet for more HP for survivability. And that would be it. In terms of the friend, I grabbed basically the first semi-decent Barts I found. Thank you, Shada, for this one. So he has a little bit of MP reduction, which is really great on Bards because he is very MP thirsty. Otherwise, he is never going to be used for his damage, so the rest we don't care so long as he survives the attacks. I am a little bit concerned with his HP. We'll see how that goes. If he dies, I guess I'll need to start the video over. By the way, for the fight, the missions are, we'll clear the quest, no items for the Esper Ore, no continues for the Emperor Gigantuars, and clear with Sword Master category for 1,000 Lapis. So this is what you want most, so using only Sword Masters. And this whole team is only Sword Masters, so it fits pretty well. Let's get right into it. Alright, so there's a couple of things that need to happen on turn 1. So with Bards, we are going to triple cast, and he's going to use both of his fields on turn 1. Very important to keep the rotation properly going. You're going to see as it goes, because his field's only for 5 turn on a 6 turn cooldown, so there's one off turn, which we will be using to our advantage in a way while resetting up for another burst. And then the last action he needs to do is his HP regen move to give us some mitigation on there, which will be very important. Otherwise, on turn 1, Lightning doesn't have anything to do, so she can just fill LB gauge. Rain on turn 1 will simply be using his LB fill ability. He is going to be using his Great Sword in Peril here, and then a little stat buff on Lightning. Lastwell on turn 1 doesn't have that much to do, but let's have him use the Mirage. Mirage is not for turn 1, it's for turn 2. So turn 2 and 4 there is one physical attack. Well, turn 1 there's one physical. Turn 2 there's one physical attack. Turn 4 there's 2 physical attacks. So a double stack Mirage will take care of what you need. Then we will have him use, I guess I'm going to quad cast after all. So Mirage, so I guess he does have a little bit of things to do. We're going to use his 91% defense and spirit break. Don't worry, it's going to last for 4 turns, and we are going to be bursting on turn 3 and 4. So it's still going to be active. Then we're going to use his Amplify and stat buffs for the party. It's not very high, but it is going to help for the second burst. So let's do that, and then we're going to do this here for Imperil and Katana Imperil as well. Diesel on turn 1, he's Omni covering, so we're just going to Shelga. We are going to break. We are going to Elemental Resist. And he will do the Sword Imperil for this rotation. Snovlinka, I think she doesn't even have anything to do on turn 1, does she? Well, I'm going to use the barrier just in case to protect Barts. She can do this for the Imperils. And there's nothing else really needed of her on this setup, so she can just here, let's just waste that cooldown because she's never going to use it, and that can fill Lastwell's LB gauge. All right, so let's see if I made a fatal mistake right away and wiped. Couldn't be. So as you can see, Lastwell's boost skill here took off 15% of the boss's health, which is 24 billion. So that is a lot. Now on turn 2, what we are going to need to do is start getting ready for the burst. So Bartz is going to cast the HP thingy for more mitigation. It's general mitigation, so that's going to help with the physical damage that we cannot mitigate with that team, nor can we stop it. He is going to imbue, and he is going to stat buff. Yeah, because the LB, where should LB fill? Yeah, I'm going to use the LB fill actually. So imbue. Let's start getting the LB fill move started in the rotation and the mitigation. Rain here is going to use his 500% LB buff, his LB modifier buff, and amplify giving to the bigger amplify giving to lightning. Lightning is going to use her LB damage buff, her LB modifier buff, and for the last ability, we can just do this again. Now Lastwell is going to, on this turn, he needs to do the perfect Dispel on the boss. His 500% LB damage buff, his LB modifier buff, and I guess for the rest, we're just going to use the bigger Katana Imperil for that rotation. Cecil now will magic cover LB damage buff, LB modifier buff, and big amplify. And Snovlinka here is going to use her LB damage buff, her LB modifier buff, and last but not least, the killer buff for the whole party. So that's a 300% machine killer buff. As you can see, I am not dealing at all with the poison and the disease. Who cares? I have just slightly lower stats. It's not going to be a big deal. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. So now this turn is the burst turn. So we're gonna give the overdrives with Bartz. So Bartz is doing both of his overdrives for the category amplify, for the field, the LB damage buff, and then Rain will be using his for the stat buff. And now with this, we can do our first burst. So we're using light. Everyone is going to use their light LB. And Lastwell doesn't have light, so he's going to use wind. Why wind? Because Bart's field does cover amplify for wind at least. So he's going to deal like, much lower damage still, but not that bad. Turn 3, in terms of damage resistance, we don't need to do anything much. So we are going to use the stat buff with Bart's, then the final stage of the mitigations, and more also HP regen. And the second stage of the LB refill. So what we want to do is make sure we click Bart's first, because he's going to give the stat buffs. Then we send the chainers, and we hope to finish, the whole damage with everyone before he casts his LB fill, so everyone gets a little bit of LB fill from his move. So it is going to, we send the front row first, so Snovlinka, Cecil, and Lastwell first. And then we send Rain and Lightning after. So we click, we do this, we do that, and we hope I didn't break. Pretty decent. So that was a 15% damage. And then Snovlinka came in with the last 10%. So on turn 3, her boost skill did some. I'm a little concerned for for that part's survivability here. Anyway. So here we need to do a mirage with Bart's. We are going to do LB fill to finish filling Lastwell and Snovlinka. He is also giving a 300% LB damage buff with this ability. And last, is there anything else that I need on that turn? No. So we're just going to use the HP refill once more, so it's gonna last one more turn. Here we are, and then we just send everyone again. So 1, 2, 3, like that. Not too bad. Any that's a 9% damage. So now the boss is doing some magic damage covered by Cecil, and unfortunately healing. That was a 3 billion healing, which is awful considering we're dealing like around like 30 billion per rotation, but whatever. and those numbers will go down, sadly. Now, on this turn, the boss is going to do he's going to dispel us. This is the last turn of the rotation. So, and there is no physical attack on that turn. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna guard with people who can. Can he guard? Yes, he can. Do you have anything to do? You can guard. You can guard too. Only Cecil will have something to do. So we need to reapply Shelga because he did it on turn 1, and this is for 4 turns only. So we need to redo Shelga. We are going to redo the break. We're going to do the bigger break to ensure we take less damage. And what else? Well, I guess I could have triple cast. I can reapply. Let's just redo cover just in case. Actually, we can just do that. And let's do this so he takes less damage. Should be fine. Not too bad. Great. Alright, so now we are back to turn 1 of the rotation. Looks like the boss is pretty low. He's not pretty low because now we don't have the boost skill anymore. So we're going to be dealing a lot less damage on the on the next coming turns, unfortunately. It's as if we only dealt, what, 22% damage right now. So on turn 1 of the rotation, if we look at Bart's cooldowns, his fields are currently not up, and he can only reapply them next turn. However, we're not bursting on turn 2, so this is not a problem. We're not bursting on turn 1 either of the rotation, so 6 and 7 are fine. We're going to be bursting again on turns 8 and 9. So what we want to do on that turn 1 here is the mitigation with the HP regen, because that has been dispelled by the boss, so we have to be very careful with this. We're gonna mirage for next turn as well, and he can do some LB fill with this. Rain here will be doing once more his LB fill to help out with the team a little bit. He's going to do the Great Sword in Peril once more, and then wait next turn for that. Oh, he can do the big barrier to help a little bit survivability. Now on this turn, Lightning doesn't have anything important to do, so she can fill LB gauges once more. Last well. Got Burke. Next turn. He can simply do the Imperil action on that turn. Nothing else important to do. No. So let's just do the Imperil with him. We are going to do actually a little longer turn with her. So she's going to use her big break, her Imperil, and the sword Imperil at the same time. And Cecil needs to Shelga cover. Very, very important. Let's provoke for some more mitigation on him just for fun. And we are going to reapply the breaks because at some point those bigger breaks are going to lapse out and I'm going to forget and I'll hate myself when I do. Can't say that it happened on a try before. No, it never happened. Not at all. Not me. No. So as we can see, nothing much happening here. So now we're on turn 2 of the rotation. This is where we start getting ready again. So Bart is going to use both his fields and the imbue as well. So a little bit of a busy turn for him now. Rain is going to use his LB modifier buff, the 200% Imperil on that rotation this time, and the killers on Lightning once more. So a little bit of bigger killers. Lightning is going to use her LB modifier buff, her killers as well. This is going to be for Cecil, Snovlinka, and Lastwell, because she's benefiting from Rain's bigger killers, and then some LB fill because she needs to do something else with the third ability. Lastwell here, let's remember it's turn 2, so the boss has mitigations right now on turn 2 of the rotation. So every turn 2, 7, 12, 17, etc. He needs to dispel. So we have Mirage already from Bart's, we're fine. So perfect dispel. LB modifier buff. He's going to use this ability here for a little bit more amplify on his wind. But it's insignificant, but I'm doing it anyway. This has been done already, so I don't need it again. This is not necessary. Actually, no, that could help. Let's do it for the stat buff. Snoblink on that turn will do her LB modifier buff. She will use her cooldown here for a 400% LB damage buff to everyone. And she can use the barrier again here. Although we're still under his barrier. The barrier is useless. So let's just do this, that, and what's this? Well, useless amplify for her. Okay, let's just try not wasting too much mana. Whatever. Let's use one of these again on poor Laswell. And Cecil now will be LB modifier buff. Wow, that's pretty much all he needs to do. So let's just resist, break again because we can. And he basically has like infinite MP, so we don't really care. Yeah, let's go with that. Also, this Bartz is only EX1. If you had a friend who had an EX2 Bartz, on the first rotation, you could have him use his big Light Imperil, which would speed up the process a little bit. The first time I did it, I had an EX2 Bartz friend, so it went a little faster thanks to that. I did it in 14 turns, but still, you know, it's a slow process. So I used the overdrives with Bartz again, and now I'm using the overdrive with Rain. So we have stats, we have field, we have category, and LB, and now everyone is ready to go with their light LB. I'm just gonna go check as well. Maybe I can get the stat buff along with Bartz here. Nope, I can't. Next turn. So on this turn, we are going to use the mitigation and HP regen. We're going to use Mirage. Is Mirage needed? I'm on turn 3. Yeah, I can do it now. And I'm going to use last the LB refill. Not that the order actually matters right now, so let's just send the front row and then the others. Let's see, so from 38 to 29, not bad. That's another 9%. So we send Bartz, he can refill everyone. Now we hope that we don't die. That was fine. Okay, so now we just burst again. And we can do the stat buff with Mr. Bartz here. What else does he have to do? Do we still have the imbue? Actually, I think we do, but I just want to make sure. Oh yeah, we're still imbued. So actually on that turn, he just needs to do that. So let's just do the... Oh, you know what? He's going to be a good boy and give everyone a little bit of MP. So let's do that buff. MP refill for the entire party because Laswell is starting to get a little low and I'm concerned. Then let's just do the HP regen once more. So we send Bartz first and then we send all the others. Well, you know, same drill. So from 29 down to 21. Now sadly the boss is going to heal again. And here the physical was miraged by what we did before. So now this is the turn where everyone is going to just guard, because there's nothing they really have to do. Do they now? Except Cecil, who is going to Shelga, cover, provoke, And, oh, no, nope, 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 nope. Shelga, cover, small break, big break. Actually, no, you know what? Yeah, no, let's provoke for less damage still. Shelga, cover, yeah, I'll get it. Provoke, and big break. So now the damage is going to fall off a little bit because we are going to be working only with a 180% imperil, and we're going to be working with only a 90% break. But, you know, we're still going to make it. So turn 1 of the rotation, once again, what do? We get the mitigations back up. We do Mirage, getting ready for next turn. Bards will use the Sword Imperil on that rotation. In terms of fields, now this time, he is going to apply the fields on the turn we are going to burst. So we still don't have to worry about it. So now he's doing this. Rain here is going to use, once again, the LB fill, the, Great Sword Imperil, and, oh, nothing else really. So what do we have him do? Don't want to use too much mana, but I guess, yeah, you can just punch the boss a little bit. Actually, no, that's a terrible idea. I'm doing it anyway. No, that's a terrible idea. I'm not doing it. Never mind. Yeah, just punch the boss. Lightning is just going to fill the LB gauge for everyone. Now, Lastwell is just going to break. Snovlinka this turn, what you have to do? So rotation. Let's do barrier. Let's break and just punch once more. Gonna be absolutely nothing. Now Cecil needs to once more Shelga, cover. Let's do provoke for less damage and the regular break as well. So that, and then just those together so they chain for like 100,000 damage. Yeah, 600,000. Wow, big boy damage there. Not imbued, no nothing. They don't need that. No frills, as they say. So now we're on turn 2 of the rotation. Turn 2 of the rotation means the boss has mitigations that we need to dispel. So what we're going to do here with Bart's has nothing to do with mitigations, but we need to imbue with him. Then we are going to use the LB fill once. This is for the 300% LB damage buff. That will go on the second turn on of the rotation. I still have the Mirage from last turn, so I'm just going to do the HP regen once more. Now we are going to use the LB damage buff for 400% with whoever has it left. What else is... Oh, no, he doesn't have it. The killers anymore. So, next ability, you can punch again, because why not? Lightning here is going to use her LB modifier and damage buff. And, oh, that's back. Wait. It's only a 5-turn cooldown. Girl. Anyway, no, we're not going to use it now because we have Snovlinkas. Well, we will have Snovlinkas. So, just do that again. Lastwell now needs to do all his interesting stuff. So the perfect Dispel, 400% LB damage buff, modifier buff, and he can once more use his Slight Amplify for wind. Snovlinka here, LB modifier buff. Sadly, she doesn't have a big LB damage buff anymore because she's EX 0. She's going to use her machine killer buff. And last, anything? You need anything? Not really. Not really. So at this point, just punch. Cecil once more. do modifier buff and damage buff. We're going to break again because I have break anxiety. And let's do the resist buff once more. So let's send parts first, and then I don't remember who had some attacks, so just all go together and see what happens. Hey, 16 million. That's something, I guess. Okay. So now we are going to do the fields with Barts. So this is our turn one of the 2 burst part. And we'll get the Mirage ready for next turn. Oh, yeah. We need to do both his overdrives. I forgot. Then Rain's overdrive. And as you can see, we are going to run out of Bart's overdrives. Eventually, this is going to slow down the process even more. But don't we like a long fight? There we go. We're just going to use other people's overdrives to try and mix and match everything and get some damage out. All right, so once more front row. So from 24 down to 15. Wow, actually not bad. I'm impressed. Okay, we all got a tiny bit of damage there, but it's not too bad. Now we are going to reapply the mitigations because it was their last turn, I think. We are going to LB fill with Barts. Is that going to be enough for everyone? I think so. If it is not, it's a bit embarrassing. So we're going to cast it twice. Just to be sure. And I think I kind of needed it. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go for the second burst. So 3, 2, 1, front row. Oops. Damn it. Well, I broke my chain by clicking Rain by accident. Bad fingers. Not so bad anyway. The boss is down to 8%. We should... Oh, hell no. Hell no. That's 3%. Oh my god. I'm not sure we're going to kill it next rotation. We'll see. So now this is the Dispel turn. On the Dispel turn, everyone guards. Except Cecil, who has to work overtime for us. So Shelga, cover, big break, and provoke. I wonder if we're going to be able to kill the next rotation. We'll see, we'll see. Because not having all the overdrives from Bart's is going to hurt us quite severely. And on that rotation, because of the fields, we will actually need to burst on turn 4 and 5. So this is going to be a little bit different. But it's not going to alter our rotation that badly. You'll see. So turn 1 of the rotation once more. What do? We redo the mitigations. We do Mirage for the next turn. Now we're going to do turn 4 and 5. So there's nothing else really to do with him. Let's just do the LB fill, right? No, let's save some MP. Actually, I was about to ask if anyone needed MP. No one does. So mitigation, Mirage, and Mirage against, just to save MP. Rain once more here. LB fill, not mitigation, sorry, Great Sword and Peril. And now he is going to use the killers on a light. No. What am I saying? Not the wow, not the killers. Wow. Okay, never mind me. The killers are for later. You can just punch the boss. Why don't you? Lightning is just going to fill the LB gauge. Last one doesn't really... Yeah, no. Last one always does just the break here. Yeah, just the break and perils. So does Snovlinka. Actually, she can do also the barrier, which will help. So let's barrier, let's break imperil, and waste some of this some more. And Cecil has to Shelga, cover. Let's do this again. And the regular little breaks. So let's go. So that was turn 1 of the rotation. Now the mitigations are activated on turn 2. We're still going to remove them on turn 2 anyway, because we can, and why not? But we are not going to actually start setting up for the kill there. Everything, all the real setup. Oh god damn it! That's only for 4 turns. I'll have to redo that again. I didn't think about it. It's bad. Yeah, she's getting low on mana. Should still be fine. On this turn, you can imbue everyone. Because we're going to be doing it on turn 19 and 20. So yeah, they're still going to be imbued on both these turns. We are going to redo this because I have anxiety. And let's just redo the mirage again. Because why not? Oh, you know what? No. Let's give everyone MP. I'm starting to have anxiety for MP for Snoblinka. Let's just give her MP. And so, yeah, light imbue. And then, let's just redo the mitigations again. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. On this turn, what do you have to do? Nothing really, because, he can do this. Yep, okay, so on that turn, he's just going to guard. Lightning on that turn can pretty much just guard too. Actually, yeah. On that turn, Cecil, what do you do? Let's just do a triple cast. Well, we can quad. Let's redo Shelga, let's redo cover, let's redo the breaks, and let's do some elemental resist. Yeah, wouldn't be so bad. All right. So now we are going to actually start setting up for the damage turn. So that's not going to be necessary this rotation. We can do the stat buff, which will last for the 3 turns. Next turn he's going to be using his fields. We can do the mirage again. And let's just redo the mitigations. On that turn, he's casting his LB damage buff, the killers on lightning, and the other ability, like literally anything you want. Here. Lightning here is going to use her modifier buff, killers, and you know what, at this point, it's going to be low damage, but let's just do that anyway. Last, well, I did remove them. Oh, I did remove the mitigations. Derp. Time to remove them. So let's do this, that, and the amplify. Snoblinka is doing the LB modifier buff. She's going to do the LB damage buff by 400% for the whole team this time around. And let's just redo the breaks again because why not? Here with Cecil, we're doing this. Let's redo the provoke. Let's redo the breaks because I keep doing the breaks again and again and again. And here we are. So that shouldn't be so bad. Oh, right. I forgot. They were kind of doing a tiny bit of damage. Well, tiny, yeah. Very insignificant anyway. All right. Now, Bars is going to give us both fields And let's do Mirage again because we are going to need it on that turn. In terms of overdrives, let's see what I have. Well, he has a category amplify for Royals and Guardians. Let's use Guardians category amplify. Let's use Rain for the stat buff and LB damage buff. And, oh, well, not you. I don't think I have an LB, I don't think I have an overdrive field anymore. This is gonna severely hurt my damage. Ugh. Well, ain't nothing I can do about it. Let's just go all in with this. Do I still have the HP regen? I'm concerned now. Oh my god, where's the HP regen? Right there, okay. For one more turn. Okay. So we send him, and then we send... So Bart's first, then the entire front row, then the back row. Oh yeah, the damage is much lower now. This is concerning a bit. Oh, well, not too bad, okay. So now we're gonna refill the LB gauge. So we're gonna do this twice with him, and then we are going to redo the HP regen that we needed. Let's just make sure that Cecil is still covering. Yes, he's still covering. We still have Shelga. We're still imbued. Yeah, okay, everything is fine. And we just send everyone again. Oh, chain broke. Well, from 8 to 4%. I guess we're gonna get it on the next rotation. Oof, ooh, that hurt a little bit more. Yeah, people are usually guarding on that turn. All right, so now, actually, wait. When am I gonna burst? Can I get them to burst on turn 2? I do this. I do that. And that they're gonna be ready there. Oh, this is getting scrappy. Yeah, that should work. And she has her killers back. So I think I should be able to get ready once more for another burst soon. Okay, let's just try it. So HP regen, well, mitigation, LB fill, and imbue. Yes. Okay, not bad. Rain is going to use his LB modifier buff, the Greatsword in Peril, and his LB fill. Lightning, LB modifier buff, and just LB fill. Yeah. Last will is not going to participate in the first burst we're gonna do, but he's going to participate in the second one. Because I want to make sure we can use the field on before it lapses again. So we're gonna be bursting on turn 2 and turn 3 of the rotation. Meaning Lastwell cannot participate in the first one because he needs to dispel the mitigations. We are still going to do the breaks with him, and he can do yeah, he can do that for the other turn. We need to cover again, Shelga again. Let's do the big breaks for my anxiety, and let's do the LB modifier buff. Now with her, let's do the LB modifier buff. Let's do the machine killer, And let's do the brakes again. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Yeah. I'm feeling confident. It doesn't sound like it in my voice, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. Maybe. Okay, so we're still good here. The fields are still going to be there for 2 turns. Now on this one, what do you need to do? We're imbued. The imperils are there. The mirage is there. Mitigations are there. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so last will is going to do his thing. Let's just redo mirage because I have anxiety. Let's do the dispel. Let's do this for the amplify for next turn, and let's do that for the stat buff now. Why don't we? Oh, I should have. Oh god damn! I should have used his overdrive. Forgot his overdrive. Well, we're just gonna use whoever else is and see if that helps. Yeah, let's just throw all the overdrives we have at the wall. Here, use this one. No, use that one. It takes forever to count anyway. Yeah. What could go wrong? Am I right? Let's redo the mitigations again. Do this for the LB modifier buff. And I did the mirage again with last well. Okay, that's gonna be funny. Let's do that. Okay, so now we're gonna burst and hope to deal 4%. If we don't, we have another turn after. Yeah. So right now, Omega has no mitigation. All the brakes are up. All right, let's see what happens. So we're just gonna go with the front 2 and then the back 2. I'm absolutely not dealing. Oh yeah, I did it! Yay! 22 turns, yay! Okay, well that was scrappy at best, but you know what? It worked. And you might probably finish it much faster with a like higher EX level team. A little scrappy. Yeah, it wouldn't be a Star Trolls video without the scrappy mistakes. So here, I did this for you guys. Now if we look at the damage breakdown, we see that Laswell and Snovlinka are disproportionately way higher than they should be, considering he was off element the entire time, and considering she's EX0. But we have to think of their boost skill. So their boost skill is what pushes them so fast, so high. So it was 24 billion for his 15%, which means that you have to remove 48 billion off of this, meaning he dealt like 14 billion damage, as opposed to them who were legit in their 31 and 34 billion. Cecil was also legit with his 18 billion, not bad. For the tank, not bad at all. And Snovlinka, I guess, 10%. So I guess she dealt like 19 billion, something like that. Not bad. Anyway, so that was my triad guide for Tahto Omega. It is all missions. No one died either, so that's great. This time anyway. And here you are. So feel free to sound off in the comments if you have any questions for substitutions for a unit. I can try and give some recommendations. Otherwise, good luck on that very long and annoying fight. But at least the rotation is simple. Remember, you need to have Mirage on, at least 2 stack Mirage for turn 2 and 4. You need to dispel the boss mitigation on turn 2, and you need to rebuff on turn 1 of the rotation, because you get dispelled on turn 5. So that's it. So good luck on your clears, and see you guys in the next video. Bye!